Spoiler warning for What If, Episode 1. Hello, I'm the Infinity Theorist, Quake spin-off enthusiast, and the first episode of Marvel Studios' What If was great. It reworked Captain America, the First Avenger, in a very interesting way. Instead of Steve Rogers becoming Captain America, Peggy Carter became Captain Carter. Not quite the Captain Britain we thought she was going to be, but still a very cool hero. This leaves room for Marvel to bring back Peggy whenever they want through the multiverse. There are rumors of her appearing in Multiverse of Madness, and if she does, I cannot wait for that. This episode did a great job of making me like the characters even more than I previously did. It really felt like a lost Agent Carter episode, and I loved the Agent Carter show. I'll be talking about some fun details of the episode, how it will impact the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and more in my review and analysis of What If, Episode 1. So, as always, let's start with the notes I took in the episode. The first thing is about the Marvel Studios intro. Marvel has been getting really good at these recently. What with WandaVision, Loki, and now What If. In this episode, the Marvel Studios logo changes to a sort of drawn-out comic-style one, and I think it looks amazing and fits perfectly with the show. The next thing I have is actually a comment on the animation style of the show. I really liked it, and it reminded me of the animation in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, a movie I very much enjoyed. Makes me that much more excited for the Spider-Man episode, which I anticipated would be really good. Okay, a little bit of an update right there, because that wasn't really a Spider-Man episode. I know this video is a lot late. I'm sorry. That's an old part of the script. But yeah, that wasn't a Spider-Man episode. That was an Infinity War episode. But yeah, that's what I meant because I was thinking something else when I wrote that. But yeah, that's it. Okay, now back to the script. The Watcher reintroduces us to the concept of the multiverse, filling in everyone who hasn't seen Loki on what's going on, and we see animated versions of a bunch of the Avengers. That was a fun little trip down memory lane. At the beginning of the episode, the Watcher tells us what the next event in this universe is. It is Peggy Carter staying in the room where Steve would have gotten the serum instead of going into a separate room. This causes other people to stay in the room, including the people who plan to sabotage the experiment. This causes the bombs to explode early and forces Peggy to get the serum instead of Steve. We get a reference to the Avengers when Peggy works out with the punching bag in the same way Steve did in The Avengers. That's a very fun reference to a very famous scene, the scene when Nick Fury talks to Steve about the Avengers Initiative. We eventually cut to Tonsberg, Norway, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, which is a recurring location in the MCU. It is in Thor, Captain America the First Avenger, and was the location of New Asgard in Endgame. It is a very important place. In Tonsberg, the Red Skull looks for the Tesseract, which was the opening scene of Captain America the First Avenger.
Howard Stark makes her one, so now she has a suit.
It was originally a USO Tor suit, but Stark made some upgrades. This suit is reminiscent of the Captain America suit from the First Avenger, with bright red, white, and blue, and a clear patriotic flag in the middle. It means we get a new hero with another cheesy but fun suit. Peggy also gets a matching shield that she tests out on a bunch of Hydra agents, including Arnim Zola. You know, that second-in-command scientist of Red Skull who eventually became an AI. Peggy manages to take both him and the Tesseract back to the SSR. She's very good at her job. Peggy promotes herself to Captain, making her official title Captain Margaret Peggy Carter, or more simply, Captain Carter. She now officially has a superhero name, and it isn't Captain Britain as many people expected it would be. Howard asks if Steve is ready to join the war effort as he makes something for Steve with the Tesseract. Peggy talks to Steve about rescuing Bucky, saying that they'll need all the friends they can get. Steve is in this universe, just as in the main timeline, also owes Peggy a dance. Bit unrelated to the other thing, but yeah. Peggy steals a motorcycle, then rescues the 107th, while Bucky makes a Queen of England joke. Peggy then introduces herself as Captain Carter in the same way Steve said that he was Captain America when he performed the same task of rescuing the 107th in Captain America the First Avenger. Peggy recreates one of the most iconic scenes from the First Avenger with the Howling Commandos. That one very photogenic scene where the superheroes in the front and the superheroes' friends are on either side of them, shooting at Hydra agents. Here is a side-by-side comparison of those two scenes. After the fight, Steve gets the soldiers to cheer for Captain Carter in the same way Bucky got them to cheer for Captain America in the first Avenger. Steve said, "Let's hear it for Captain Carter," and Bucky said, "Let's hear it for Captain America." This scene is followed by a fighting montage that is very reminiscent of both the Agent Carter TV show and the fighting montage in the first Avenger. The 1940s music really reminded me of Agent Carter, as there was a lot of old music in that show, especially during the fight scenes. I very much enjoyed this little montage. During this montage, Flynn is on the phone with the president, and besides being a hypocrite, he tells the president that Steve's suit is called the Hydra Stomper, a name given by Dum Dum Dugan earlier in the episode. This Hydra Stomper is very reminiscent of the Iron Man suit Mark I from the first Iron Man movie. The Red Skull basically tells a German soldier that he has a god complex, and reveals that his plan is to summon the champion of Hydra, who we will get to later. Red Skull then reveals himself as the, Red Skull by taking off his face, showing the red one underneath. Peggy says the serum doesn't let her get drunk, which is almost exactly the same thing Steve said in the first Avenger when he was at that bar by himself. Peggy's outside matches the inside now, according to Steve, and Peggy is now finally respected, as she does deserve to be. She's proven herself on more than one occasion, and she's never even had to prove herself. She just has that trustworthy kind of personality. You know when you talk to her that she's good at her job, and she really shows it. She is amazing at her job. She single-handedly took Arnim Zola and the Tesseract for the SSR. So, she's doing a great job. Steve says that he's still a skinny kid from Brooklyn, now just in a metal suit. Peggy tells him that he is more than just a suit. The suit is nothing without the man inside. This reminds me of the moment in Spider-Man Homecoming when Tony Stark told Peter Parker that if he is nothing without the suit, he doesn't deserve to wear it. Then Steve and Peggy call each other their heroes, then almost kiss, only to get interrupted by Howard stating that Barnes stole a Jeep. Howard tells them to pretend he isn't there and carry on with the kiss, but we all know that moment was lost. A little comment I have about Howard is that I love how they did his character in this episode. He has the exact same personality as the version of him in Agent Carter, and I love this. In Agent Carter, he is comic relief and kind of that fun, irresponsible, probably a danger to himself and everyone around him type genius. He helps a lot, but his methods are interesting. If I had to align him with the Dungeons & Dragons alignment, it would be chaotic good. He is a great character, and if you liked him in What If, you're bound to like him in Agent Carter. I'm just saying, if you're looking for a new show to watch, it's only 2 seasons, it's really good. Bucky brings up the entire fandom's bad memories of him, quote-unquote, dying when he says that Peggy almost ripped his arm off. Something that did literally happen in the first Avenger. Though it wasn't Peggy that ripped his arm off, it was the fall from the train. He fell from the train, his arm fell off, Hydra gave him a new one. Hydra brainwashed him into being the Winter Soldier, so that's great. Anyway, the train explodes, making people think Steve is dead in the same way people thought Bucky was dead in the first Avenger. Surprisingly, Bucky acts out of character and is the one to get Peggy away from the supposed remnants of Steve, instead of being the one, staying there and staying with his friend till the end of the line like he said he was going to do. The Captain America theme plays softly over everyone when they agree to take out Hydra. This is a fun thing since they say they're all doing this for Steve. Peggy convinces Howard to go by telling him that they might need someone to push a button, which I find a very fun reference to earlier that episode. The champion of Hydra has tentacles, which reminds me of Hive from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, just saying, if the multiversal shoe fits. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been referenced in every multiversal MCU show so far, so maybe we're getting some characters back. It makes even more sense considering this is the champion of Hydra in the same way Hive is the god or whatever of Hydra. Bucky says that they don't have all day, an obvious reference to Steve's catchphrase, "I can do this all day," which he does make fun of in Avengers Endgame, and now Bucky is making fun of that catchphrase again. So this is Marvel making fun of themselves, and I love it. Captain Carter gains a sword, which is a cool match for the sword, for the shield. Cool match for the shield, and I love swords as weapons too. They're just so cool. Peggy and Steve talk about the dance they owe each other in the same way they did at the end of the first Avenger, when Steve flies into the ice, only this time Peggy is the one who leaves and goes through the portal instead of the ice. Peggy comes out on the other side of the portal in what I can only assume is around the year 2012-ish. Somewhere around there, 2011, 2012 is my guess. Clint and Fury are there too, and tells Peggy, and they tell Peggy that the war ended nearly 70 years prior. It reminded me of the scene where Loki comes out of the Tesseract portal in the Avengers. We can inference that Captain Carter took Captain America's place in the Avengers lineup in this universe to fight Loki. The Watcher tells us that he observes the multiverse but does not, cannot, will not interfere. He is only there to observe. Hello, I am the Infinity Theorist, Quake Spinoff Enthusiast, and I have been really getting into personalities and personality types recently. So I decided to start a new series. A series that'll help you better understand your own personality, and it'll just be fun for me. The series is called Infinity Theorist's Guide to Personality. There will be a video for every system of personality I can find, including fictional ones. So this series will cover things from fictional personality types, such as Hogwarts houses, or the teams I created for my book, Peter A.I. The Search for the Globe of Earth, to real psychological theories, such as the Myers-Briggs type. In each video, I will explain the basic premise of each personality type system, and then I will explain each type in that system in depth. So the Myers-Briggs video with 16 personality types will probably be about 4 times as long as the Hogwarts house video, which only has 4 types, or 4 houses. I will also tell you which personality type I fall under myself in each video. If you've been around for a while, you know that I'm a Hufflepuff, so I'll talk about that a bit in the Hogwarts house video. If I enjoy making these videos, I'll promote them from series to outright channel. I would make a channel all about the different measurements of personality. In that channel, not only will I go in depth into the theory and purpose each one serves, I will also point out some of the flaws in each system, like how zodiac signs really make no sense because there is no evidence that date of birth correlate to personality at all. Even though there is no evidence for the zodiac personalities, I will still explain what the theory is behind each one and what they theoretically mean. This will be a really fun and educational series, or channel if it's fun, if I like it enough. If I like it enough, it'll be a channel. But no, it'll be fun and educational, and it'll explain the different thought processes people have, the different traits, the accuracy of every personality type, and just a lot of really fun stuff. And I love the educational aspect because I'm going to be talking about it in a way that's like I'm going to be like teaching it in a way, I guess, quote unquote teaching it. I'm going to be like, here's this, here are some flaws, here's what it means, here's what people think it means. Do you think it means the same thing? Do you agree with this? Do you not agree with this? Because I'm not going to be saying, like, oh, this is objectively true. No, I'm going to actually be pointing out, like, flaws. It's going to be, like, a channel about personality and, like, that kind of science. And just, I like that. But, yeah, anyway. If I can find someone with other personality types that would want to be a guest on my channel, then that might happen too. I'm very excited for this, and I hope you are too. The first video premieres after my last What If Season 1 video, but I don't know the date on that yet. Alright, personalities are fun. Let's do some research and stuff. This is gonna be great. I'm super excited, and I hope you are too. Alright, bye. Well, not bye, but you know. Let's continue on with the video, because this trailer is in the middle of another video. But yeah. You know, get on with the video. Before we get into the review, I would like to mention that I have a podcast. It is called Infinity Theorist Unscripted Rants, or ITUR for short. I mostly talk about fandom, but sometimes I'll go off topic or just plain not know what to talk about. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. It's available wherever you get your podcasts, and there's a link to it in the description. Hey, while you're down in the description, let me tell you about Infinity 600, a project for a world record. It is a project I created as a kind of internet community thing. There will be 600 participants, and every participant will contribute 1 hour of footage that will be edited into the longest video on YouTube. If that sounds interesting to you, sign up. It's completely free. Full rules are on the website. Just a few more things in the description: my live channel, my Instagram, and my TikTok. I do live streams sometimes, very, very rarely, and also very, very rarely, or not very, very rarely, but very rarely, I post on TikTok. I do post on Instagram, not very often, but a lot more often than the others. Did I say TikTok? I meant Instagram.
One last thing in the description is a link to the book that I wrote, Peter A.I. The Search for the Globe of Earth, which is on BarnesandNoble.com, and that is linked in the description. So yeah, that's also something that's really fun.
Now for the review. First, the title review. This episode has the straightforward title of What If Captain Carter Were the First Avenger? Besides the obvious grammatical error, the correct way to say it would be What If Captain Carter Was the First Avenger? I think it's a pretty, besides that, I think it's a pretty fitting title, so I'll give it a 99 out of 100 just because What If episodes are all titled in this straightforward way, so I'll just knock off points for grammar and stuff. I really liked the episode and absolutely loved all of the references it had. This episode did a very good job of introducing Captain Carter, and I very much enjoyed it, like, the whole way through. It gave us some of our favorite characters back, and I really liked how they were portrayed, especially Howard Stark. I'll give this episode a 93 out of 100. There is room for improvement, but I still really liked it. That score averages out to 96 out of 100, which is a very good score. Overall, an A+ worthy premiere. Okay. This video is very, very late. This video, the What If season 1 finale already came out. Episode 9 came out. This is like 9 weeks late, and I am so sorry. I've just been so busy for the past few weeks, but yeah, I am so sorry for that. But I'll try to get on top of things, catch up with videos and stuff. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that video. That is everything I have for today. I will see you as soon as possible and next time, basically. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Goodbye.